the mic, let me do a little bit of recapitulation. Okay. Okay, class, let's take a look to our sketch. Now you are in the chapter 3 already today. So today, okay, class, basically today the class is quite relevant to all of you. Why? Because the topic involved is telling you the truth that how, if you wish to next life, to reborn as a human or the Dewa, we show you a very clear way, even though it's theoretically, we show you very clear. Okay, so we say that who discovered it is by Shakyamuni. So of course, the theory is scattered around all the texts, Sutra Abhidhamma, 1,000 years ago, and then there is some author, like our author, he tried to compile all together to let us know. Okay, so what it's all about? Let's take a look. So in the very beginning, stage 1, we were explaining what are worldly right views and the joys and suffering of the 5 realms. So we try to understand what the right view is about. In Buddhism, right view is so important. Why? Because the right view decide how do you see the world. If it shapes your perception to the words. Okay, basically, as a Buddhist, we have our way to see the thing. So this is the reason why recently I just been invited for 2 forum just to just try to apply. The Buddhism perception, how to view the vaccine or this issue So this is a little bit difficult part because not just the theory, you have to apply the theory to the present scenario. And some question, this is, it happens days ago. And then it's a stage 1. Then there's a suffering of the 5 realm. We'll try to understand the 5 realm. A class basically 5 realm is our universe in Buddhism. Perception of viewpoint is the universe. It's the universe. Basically, we don't see all the realm. So some theoretically we tell you it exists. We are able to see it by spatial way. We'll mention it later on. Okay. Okay, after the stage 1, then we go to the stage 2. Stage 2 is the explanation on the righteous practice of the 5 vehicle. So basically, there is a 3 important righteous way. How should I put it? Righteous practice in order we will reincarnate, become human, and also Deva in our next life. Okay. Of course, if you commit all the wrongdoing, then you will go to the 3 woeful state. We tell you okay, then you decide which one you want to go. But basically, this is the 5 realm. It's not the Buddhist. It's not the final destination for the Buddhist. Basically, the destination of the Buddhist is in the next chapter and the next chapter, which we call Bodhisattva path and also the Sravaka path. Okay. Then finally, before we conclude, we will try to explain, this is the core element just I mentioned before. Then chapter 3, then we go, let's see. Then stage 4 is the overview of the type of spiritual foundation of the practice. So from here, before ending, we'll talk about the recollection, okay, and also the Maitreya Buddha. And then that is the ending. Okay. So let's take a look. Okay, in the very beginning, we are going to talk about all this. So in the stage 1, we are in the righteous path of heading to the Buddhahood. So we are going to develop the right view. There's totally a few right view. One is the good and evil. Second is the karma and the retribution. The third one is the previous and the future life. And lastly is the worldly being and the sages. So I think today our scope is within this area only. Now let's take a look. The Dharma common to the 5 vehicle. Okay. Yes, Kamling, can you please read it out, Kamling? Sorry, okay. What page is it, class? Sorry, no.
73.
73, okay.
Still, you haven't given us the stages one. You not share with us yet, that one.
Okay, again, let me try to redo again now.
49, Sifu.
49, yeah, 49, supposed to be 49. Okay, yes, Kamling, your turn to read, please.
For that, Sifu haven't shared with us that stages one, the song.
Oh, you mean this one, right?
No, yes.
Yeah, okay, no problem. I will share you later on. All right, okay.
Resolving to have better future lives and practicing the various proper methods for rebirth as a human or divine beings is the Buddhist way for lower people. This is also the foundation of the world transcending Dharma and thus called the Dharma common to the five vehicles. Even though one is not ultimately seeking human or divine rewards, these rewards are still required for the practice of the world transcending Dharma of the three vehicles. This process is analogous to going to Taipei city from Xinhu. Although one does not get off at the town of Taoyuan, one must pass through it. If one's goal is to be born in the human world or in heaven, one is participating in the human vehicle or the divine vehicle. These vehicles are aspects of the Buddha Dharma that are shared in common with the world's religions. Confucianism is similar to the human vehicle, while Taoism, Christianity, and Islam can lead to the divine vehicle. Since people can thus reach the goals of rebirth in the world or in the heaven by following the other religions of the world, one might ask why they should take refuge in the three treasures and practice the Buddha Dharma common to the five vehicles. In fact, the Buddha Dharma does not say that whoever wants to be born as a human or divine beings must take refuge in the three treasures and practice the Buddhist human and divine vehicles. Taking refuge in the three treasures and practicing the Dharma common to the five vehicles is more secure than following other religions. However, when a person takes refuge and practices the Dharma, that person here thereby enters the great door of the Buddha vehicle. One then only needs to move upwards diligently in order to enter the world transcending Dharma. Although a person can be born as a human or divine being by delivering in other religions, one does not in this way accumulate good causes in relation to the three treasures. Such beliefs may also lead to some unnecessary stubbornness, that is, religious prejudice that blocks the desire to enter the great way of the world transcending Dharma, having been born in human and heaven realms.
Thank you so much. Please thumb up by Zoom if you finish. Thumb up by Zoom. Okay. Sally, you can get the Zoom in participant because the Zoom will calculate for me or Sally. Yeah, coming in Zoom in participants, you try to click there. You have a choice to raise your hand by Zoom. Not this one, it's under the participants. Okay, so thank you so much. You can raise down your hand now. Okay, yeah, coming, you make it correct already. Okay, class, basically, okay, I mean, the text, many things we mentioned in the text already. Well, it's a good question that if you want to reborn as a human or deva, you might not necessarily go just by Buddhism only. Just now the text mentioned, if you want to reborn as a human, basically Confucianism is really enough. Okay, if you want to reborn as a deva or Taoism, Islam and Christian is enough. Why you have to choose triple gem? The reason is once you choose the triple gem, you are at the doorstep to further to the Buddhahood. Okay, so that is the choice you have. And second is, if let's say you don't choose triple gem, next slide, if you're reborn as a human, but if you are in the family, maybe with the more religious fanatic or more extreme, so finally there will be some religious prejudice, and finally you will not, you will be refrained to learn the Buddhism. Okay. Well, anyway, maybe I can say so. Jing Jue, since you claim yourself, you are the atheism, right? Okay. Well, now maybe this is the only one point for us. It might be too subjective for us. We say we are good only. Well, later on, after the Buddhism study for a certain time, you can try to go through the comparative of religious study. Yeah. I'm not worrying you go to do the compare because we have our own quality for you to compare. Okay, you can just go through it. Then you, by comparative religious study, you can give an objective view and choose. What is your choice? Or finally, maybe you just maintain as a atheism or just believe free thinker. It's up to you. But you should expose yourself in the first place and see what is our reason for you. Okay, class, let's take a look. Finish already. And here, you mentioned that resolving to a better future life. Okay, class, basically, most of the people, they hope for the better future life. So I think during the COVID, many people jobless. If they go to pray to the God or pray to the Buddha, I think mostly people say, oh, hopefully, I can have a better job. Maybe some will say, hopefully next life, I'm going to get a better life. Okay. Well, here we grade as a lower level. You see, we say it is a lower level. It's a lower people. Okay. Do you feel is this a discrimination? We say that you hope for the better future life is a lower level, but if you hope for liberation, it's the middle level, the highest level at the Bodhisattva. It is considered discrimination. SJ, do you think it's a discrimination? Because nowadays, okay, as long as you just voice up, hey, I don't happy, there's a discrimination, or then the whole world belongs to you already, it seems. So what do you think? How do you define the discrimination?
I don't know how to define discrimination, but then if you ask me whether we categorize as lower, middle, upper, is it discriminate? This one I don't really think so.
You mean there should be some low class, middle class, upper class? It's supposed to be like that. It is fair. The system is fair. There must be three class. Do you think so?
It's not that it's supposed to be like that, but it's
supposed to be like
that. It's not supposed to be like that, but everything have its own category.
Okay, so meaning to say that you agree that Musang King price with $50 per kg, local durian $10 per kg. You think it is fair or this is a discrimination?
I think it's fair
Okay.
because you pay for the quality.
Okay. Who agrees that the durian $50 Musang King, $10 local durian? It is a fair. It's not this discrimination. Please raise your hand. Let me see. Not everybody raise your hand. Yes, Amanda, you want to say something? You think not fair?
The Musang King price go out is because of the tourists or whoever go and buy more, and then it has like 炒價錢 one.
Okay.
So it's really about the same one.
Okay, but if let's say how we exclude all the factor demand and supply, how we talk about the quality, you think Musang King deserve upper grade, local durian maybe lower grade? Depend. I mean, on the quality. Junjie, do you agree that?
I think Musang King is not the right comparison. You shouldn't compare people with human with Musang King. But I think grading, I actually I don't agree with the I don't really agree with classifying people into lower, higher, and upper grade. So that is something that I have question on, because for me that sounds like kasta already in the Hinduism, and Buddhism is supposed to be different from Hinduism because Buddhism, in my opinion, doesn't have this kasta thing. But it was quite surprising for me to find this classification of lower and yeah. But I do have question. I don't understand still.
Yeah. So Junjie, that's why I have to use Musang King durian as an analogy.
Yes.
If you eat the Musang King before, the seed is very small. It's very creamy. Maybe
yes.
You feel full already. Okay. Yep. I try to the local one, which is a very local one. You feel the seed is very big, not that creamy. That is the quality difference. You see.
Correct. Yep.
This is superior. So this is the the inferior comparatively. You see. Of course, I think there is a difference. There is different. That's why in school there will be some elite student. Okay, very smart. They learn things very fast. There will be some student not that good in the other class. You can't say this is a discrimination because we categorize this. I can teach them easily. I can teach the way will be different with other type of people. So sometimes we label it. It doesn't mean that we don't like them. It doesn't mean we don't like them. It's because there's a reality. Of course, we will see the difference. Of course, we label it as a superior or inferior, but just not because we don't like them. It's because their nature is like this. And then we are using a different approach to tackle it. You see. So why we say so, Junjie? The reason is for the lower class people, as we say, they just hope for the next life. Okay, I want to become a better people with a better wealth, with a better life. Why there's a first class of people? The first class of people, the aim there is, okay, next life, I want to become a Buddha, but at the same time, I will help all the people around me. I will bring all together for the liberation. You see or not? This is the quality of the first grade people. Meaning to say that the lower grade, which I mentioned, just for themselves and for better life only. Okay, but the first class, it will help out many people and bring them, you see. So meaning to say that this is why we define, we say, this is the best. Because we want to let you choose. This is the best. We'll direct you to this direction. It doesn't mean that, this is recorded as a wisdom. We give you a guide, a direction. This is the most superior way. If you compare, you just always selfish, think for yourself. You see, not Junjie.
I understand this, but what if I don't believe in next life?
Oh, okay. So I will try to make you believe. Okay, coming. I will try to make you believe. All right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Of course, because Junjie is true. Because the forming of the knowledge depends on the fundamental. So correct. Since you begin, you say, "Oh, I am the free thinker." So I have to use the way to start you first, to build the foundation for you. So, you guys all challenge him, try to help him to build the foundation. I think this is good job. Okay, so let's take a look. So I have to mention this because sometimes Okay, like people said, oh, we should have a vaccine passport, or so that to encourage people to do vaccination. Then people will say, oh, there's a discrimination. I think maybe the discrimination itself we have to define first, so that we're not confused. Does it mean that I put all the durian together, Musang King also $10, local durian also $10? That is fair. Or I should put all the students, we don't bother early or not early, all together and just teach, let them just happen. What happened to them? We don't bother the different capacity, different intelligence. It just consider non-discrimination. So we have to think it back. Is this correct? Okay. All right. So redefine the discrimination is important, I think, nowadays, because everybody always mention discrimination. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, then we'll go to the next paragraph. Okay, yes, Yung Sin, your turn to read, please.
One who has the right faith and has taken refuge in three treasures should cultivate right views and practice right livelihood, then it will not be difficult to make superior progress. A person who has right faith in the three treasures and take refuge in them is the Buddhist disciple, a Buddhist. Where should one start if, as a Buddhist, one wants to practice the Dharma common to the five vehicles? To understand Buddhism, one should first cultivate right views. To practice Buddhism, one should start with right livelihood. The Buddha has said that those with right views and right livelihood are rare. If one can practice two things successfully, it will not be difficult to make superior progress. Right view means correct understanding, views from different thought from knowledge. They are firm opinions derived from reasoning. Right views are what one has chosen as good, and one should follow them. As an analogy, if one wants to go on a trip, one needs to know the right route to reach the destination. Right recognition of the way things are does not necessarily become a commonly held right view. For example, it is now known that the earth revolves around the sun. This is knowledge, and Galileo, for the sake of this knowledge, was not afraid to be persecuted and imprisoned by the Christians. This is an example of a firm opinion. One should apply right knowledge, constantly practice it, and nurture firm right views.
Okay.
They are really right views and world.
Okay, we digest after two paragraphs. Okay, so class, thank you so much. So for these two paragraphs, I keep on emphasize that in order to practice the Buddhism, first of all, you have to build up the right view. And according the author, he said that you must have a right view and a right livelihood so that you can make a superior progress, meaning to say you will have a good progress. Why? First of all, right view will guide you in your life, all right? Second is a right livelihood. If let's say your occupation is not proper in the definition of Buddhism, for example, if you always involved in killing, okay, sexual misconduct, selling alcohol, all this type of career, meaning to say 1 day 8 hours you are create the bad karma, okay, then how can we say that? So if that's the case, it's not easy for you to create a good deeds if you at the same time your job will make you always create the bad deeds. Okay, so that's why we say your career itself and also your right view is so important to guide you and make you, I make you have a superior progress. This is number first place. And second, how to define the right view. Basically, it began from the right understanding, all right? And then one example is about the Galileo, because in the beginning, Galileo, the Christian killed the Galileo because Galileo revealed that the earth revolving the sun, right? But for Christianity, in the ancient time, they believed that the earth is supposed to be the center, okay? And then the universe whole should be revolved around the earth. But Galileo disclosed the truth. And he tried to establish the view, and he is so firm. He is so firm in believing the view and practice it. Okay. So finally, so that's the meaning of if let's say we have some belief. If you have some belief and you know that's the right view, you have to firm over it. So this is so important. So that's the beginning. So now next we go to see what is the right view. Basically, a right view actually we begin is from our childhood. We begin from our childhood. Okay, okay. If let's say you've got children, maybe we're going to teach them some right view in the very beginning. Okay, in the very beginning in the childhood. Here quite hard. Just Junjie got kids, right? The rest no kids. Okay, Junjie, what do you teach your kids in the very beginning? If the age about 3 to 5, what do you teach them?
3 to 5, I start by teaching them to love the animals. So that's my own experience. Then
to love the neighbor.
To love people and love the animals.
Love people, love
animals, love all the life, yeah. And then in primary school, then I engage them into Confucian studies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is the right. So that is the right view. You think is so important. Have to build in the childhood, right?
Yep.
Okay. Of course, at the childhood we start to teach them to protect their own body, right? What is dirty, you shouldn't touch it, and also must be shameful if you make all this. It's about 3 to 5. See, so meaning to say that this perception now, if the children you keep on inculcate them, and he believe and he keep on practice it, finally become a firm view later on. Okay. So the perception actually is the same. So now we go to next. Okay, Amanda, your turn. Can you please read it out? The next paragraph.
There are worldly right views and world transcending right views. In the Dharma common to the 5 vehicles, the right views are worldly ones. Although they are only firmly held beliefs, they are very powerful. As the sutra says, if someone has strong right views, that person will not fall into the evil destinies for thousands of lives. What is right livelihood? Livelihood is the process of making a living. Whether one is a lay or monastic person, one has to make a living. Legally obtaining all of life's necessities, such as clothing, food, lodging, and transportation is called right livelihood. Having a proper economic life is very important since the majority of crimes are caused by an improper economic livelihood. For Buddhist lay devotees, an occupation should not only be permitted by secular laws, but also in accord with the Buddha Dharma. Occupations based on killing, slaughtering, hunting, stealing, sexual misconduct, prostitution, brothel operations, lying, cornartistry, and intoxicants, making wine, operating bars, do not accord with the precepts of the Buddha Dharma. They are not upright occupations and they obstruct the practice of the Buddha Dharma. As for the monastics, as long as they live on offerings from devotees, that is the right livelihood for them. If they also on the side practice medicine, except when purely on a volunteer basis, or fortune telling, astrology, palmistry, and so on, or cheat devotees of their offerings, then they have a deviant means of livelihood. Right livelihood means using properly gained economic resources in a way that is neither wasteful nor miserly. Only in this way can one live in accord with the Buddha Dharma. Otherwise, there is no guarantee one will be a human again, let alone attain liberation from birth and death. During the Sino-Japanese War, a Buddhist devotee living in a large and quiet villa in Hong Kong practiced chanting the Buddha's name with utmost sincerity. He wrote to Venerable Master Yin Guang and requested him to leave the war zone and come stay with him in Hong Kong. Master Yin found out from him that his family had been winemakers for generations. The master asked him to stop the wine business before he came to Hong Kong. But the old devotee was reluctant to give it up. Studying Buddhism but not practicing right livelihood may be the reason that Chinese Buddhism has declined. Even though changing one's occupation may lead to temporary suffering, one should discontinue a livelihood that is harmful to oneself and others.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, class, basically we begin with the right livelihood. In the simple way, right livelihood meaning to say it's occupation which help you to gain your food, your clothing. We have the definition. Basically, for the layman, if the occupation, I mean in warfare, the killing, sexual misconduct, selling alcohol, all this thing is considered illegal activity. Nowadays, I mean it changed the style already. But the uniqueness is still we can see there. For example, if now you go to run the money game or this, I think it's a combination of the, if you run money, get any combination of the stealing and also lying together, okay. And then nowadays also everything just through the apps, they run all the illegal activity. If you become a scammer, okay, of course, I mean, if you become a scammer, it is a lying already and also a stealing, and also nowadays, maybe through the apps, they start to do some prostitution, like, I mean, the sugar book, is the sugar book actually is the channel for prostitution? Yes, Amanda say yes, okay. So you see, so this, all this, if you involve, is considered illegal activity. Whereas for monk, because previously in Indian, monk basically they come from the Brahmanism. So in Brahmanism, some they survive through fortune telling. Some they are good astrology. By watching the star, they can predict for you good fortune. They can tell you the fortune. Maybe some yes, this is the previous practice. Basically, Shakyamuni prohibit us to do all these things. So what he wants, we just we should obtain, okay, we should obtain our basic necessity through teaching the Dharma or through Pindabat. So that is the legal activity we are allowed. If what happens if we involve in the illegal activity? Because if let's say you involve in illegal activity, basically all the consciousness arise are unfavorable and bad in the illegal activity, because you can't claim how noble you are if you involve in this type of illegal activity. If your mind keep on with the unfavorable consciousness again, so in the next slide, the resultant can be very bad. So this is the reason why we should stop involved in the illegal activity. But anyway, the best preferably we should teach the people maybe in the university level. Why? Because according to my experience, if the people start involved in the occupation, maybe after 3 to 5 years, it's quite hard for them to stop because they start all the house loan, car loan, maybe they're about to marry. Then you say, oh, this is a wrong livelihood. Then they will be struggle a lot, you see. So that's why basically I met quite a number of illegal activity and quite hard to ask them to stop. Very hard. Some they come to tell us, oh, I involved in the killing, I slaughtered a lot of chicken, and my company is in second box. How to stop? Very hard. Sometimes it's very hard. Okay, because too many years. And then I remember many years ago, there's one general manager from certain beer company. He come to learn Buddhism. He said, I'm the general manager of the beer company. Then about 5 more years to retire. I said, you just finished all the job after the 5 years. Then you do some, how to say, you do some remedy on it and you try to fix it later on, because everything is already very dependent on your occupation already. You can't say just stop immediately. So that's the reason why it is good. I mean, if you got kids, you should educate them in the very beginning, not until to the later stage, then we can't do already. We can't do anything anymore. What can they do in order to fix it? For example, we got one owner of the restaurant they involved in killing. Because you can order for fish, prawn, crab, all this involved in killing. So they run the business after 8 years and then the Buddhism. So what can they do to fix it? So first of all, they try to do some liberation of the animals. So because they kill a lot, so now that they liberate certain amount, okay. And then they do some mantra chanting because we believe maybe the animal pass away, die, the animal die. It's some sort like there's got soul there, okay, the karma there. So you should try to do something. Because basically, according to the rules of the karma, a lot of killing will treat, finally the outcome is the shortening of life or disease. You will infect some disease, okay. And then they have a good idea. They say, now I start to have more vegetarian food in the menu. So if there's an opportunity, I will introduce people take all the vegetarian food instead of all the killing food. So that is something he tried to do. I think it's more moderate. because you cannot stop immediately because he employed 10 foreign workers, see, and the whole family member about 10. How can you stop immediately? See or not? So we encourage them to do it gradually. So this is about the occupation. So luckily, so happily to see you all in a good career, in a very legal activity. So before, what I met, I go to the Sarawak Syrian. I met the owner of the pig farm and also the chicken farm. You see, they said I got 3,000 pig in my farm, master. The other said, I got about 30 to 50,000 chicken in my farm also. So they just tell me all the figures terrible. Some they can't do because they are not the boss. So they are family business. They are only one of the, they're just in charge of account. They can't make any decision, you see. So that's why in the real life, we have to use our wisdom to find out the moderate way for them. One thing is good is, for Buddhism, we will recommend you the ways to fix it. I mean, for the time being, you can do some chanting to pacify yourself. Okay. Some people they will have a strong, powerful view to change the career once they met some problem. For example, I remember that we got one Buddhist friend. His sister, they used to kill the chicken and then roast the chicken. They sell the roast chicken, you see. So after 10 to 12 years, she got cancer. They earn a lot of some money. She got a tooth cancer. Okay. Somehow she believed it's something to do with the killing business. Okay, killing business. Okay. And because maybe there might be a coincidence. She noticed that she used to cut the throat of the chicken. Then she feels suffer is this part. Okay, and sometimes once a while she can feel the scream of the chicken. You see, so she sensed that maybe the disease has something to do, can link with this. So she tried to stop the business, and then she try to do more chanting, to do more giving. Hopefully that the disease can be reduced. I mean, she can reduce the suffering, you see. Okay, basically, sometimes it's quite hard to prove it, to prove it that this is the cause, this is the effect. So religions involve some subjectivity, and sometimes involve some faith there. Okay, so let's see how can you have some faith? Because you see, if you got the disease, okay, the medicine, okay, the Western medicine, the doctors say, okay, sorry, we can't do anything already. It's in the final stage. Then you have no more, you don't have any result anymore. So religion is the one result. And you think, yeah, maybe maybe due to the killing, I try to fix it. At least that is one channel for people to feel comfortable, you see. Because doctor can't say anything, can't help you anymore. So religion is the only way for you. But how true is it? Once you are in a struggling situation, you will believe. You can take the thing easily when you are in a struggling. But if we are so healthy, not that easy to accept and believe something. So sometimes the disease and suffering is the teacher for most of the people to learn things. But Junji, I'm not saying you are. Don't misunderstand. I'm not saying you are. Okay. All right. So we go to the next paragraph. Okay. So this is about now we directly go to the right view. Okay. Okay. Amanda have read already. Yeah. Elena, your turn. Right view.
Right view 30. The aforementioned right views are the correct understanding of life. What exactly are the aforementioned right views? In its worldly meaning, right view is the correct understanding of life, a correct outlook. Right views are those that one firmly believes in, based on a correct investigation into the meaning of life and the path to follow. For those who practice the Buddha Dharma, right views are indispensable. Like the Buddha of a sheep, the Buddha has said that those who have right views are rare, particularly among lay devotees. For example, a person who has sincere faith in the three treasures, is charitable and understands Buddhist teachings, would appear to be typically good Buddhist. But upon becoming senile, Such a person might, for example, listen to other people's false advice about nutrition to the point that even after being a vegetarian for decades, he begins to kill animals. Also, some people who have incurable chronic illnesses seek help from spirits, from fortune tellers, from saints, or from anything else they think worth trying. Some, being poor financially, ask for help from the God of wealth, or hoping to win the lottery to go to a temple hoping to win the lottery, go to a temple to ask an immortal to inform them in their dreams of the right lottery number. Some practice diligently, but when they get old, cultivate their life essence and energy, just like non-Buddhists, for the sake of their continuously aging and ever-weakening body. A few years ago, a learned and cultivated Buddhist in Taipei had a transplant of a monkey pituitary gland for just this reason, and ended up dying from it. Such people are unable to firmly hold on to their belief. When their health and finances deteriorate, they waver. Those who study Buddhism should not talk eagerly about ending birth and death or attaining enlightenment. They should cultivate right views first.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay. Sorry, Junjie, can I ask you a question now? You are a free thinker, but you come for the Buddhism study class, meaning to say that actually you try to open your heart to learn something new, right? Is this correct?
Yes, I do study Muslim and Christianity as well. I'm from Confucian, so I do study different, open up for different things.
Okay.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, you want to do some comparative of religion study, so that's why you are here, meaning to say you are ready to open your heart. No. You are opening your door and waiting me to go in your heart lah. Is this correct? Okay, so meaning to say, try to go in, no offense lah. Is this
Yeah,
correct?
no offense. Yep.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
Yep.
So 咁樣我就唔客氣㗎啦。
係。
Okay, so class, first of all, definition of the right view, meaning to say is something must be from the view. Okay. Here the author could a few examples. Okay, he mentioned that if for those have a right view, sometimes they cannot be persistent to the right view because due to the challenge lah. Here, the author could a few examples. He said some people they financially have financial problem, all right. Some they have a healthy problem, so they cannot persistent to the right view and start to to change their right view lah. Okay, the way I see is in this way. For example, the people come to my temple. Okay, so they bring some fruits. Okay, and then start to pray. It is understandable that they come to pray to solve their financial problem, maybe family relationship problem or healthy issue. And I will allow this. Why? The reason is people, they are hopeless. So they come out, hopefully Buddha can bless them. Of course, the real perception, as we know, Buddha is the teacher. Okay, he gives you the teaching so that you practice the teaching and then you will get, and then your problem will be fixed. But here he come, he deemed Shakyamuni like a god, all right? Okay, and then hopefully that after offering some fruit, and then the God, the Buddha will help him, okay? For me, I think it is acceptable and it's necessary. Why? Because this, we call it as a door, a gate to open to invite people to come in. They must come in the first place, you see or not? Okay, we say Buddha is the teacher and teach them. It's just like you try to sell the specialty coffee. I don't think so many people are able to enjoy the specialty coffee without sugar, without milk. So basically, most of the coffee shop, the best seller might be the latte, mocha, all these things. You see. So from this, you attract the people come. Then later on, once they enjoy drinking. They have a habit, you guide them to go to the specialty coffee, you see. So it's the same, you see, class. Basically, once people they come here, basically, once people they come to temple, we must have the door, let them come in first, settle the issue in the beginning, in the very beginning. Then later on, then we say, oh, Buddha is the teacher. We have a better teaching to tell you. We have to resolve their problem in the first place. Without resolving their problem, they can't settle down to listen. Oh, what is the profound teaching? They don't have the mood to listen to that. So I have to admit that basically we will do in this way. We need some more other method to attract people, come in first, resolve the issue, understand them, and then they will go further. And then we will tell them to drink the specialty coffee, which is expensive, which is bitter, which is pure. They really need times to accept this type of, we call it as a real and the true product. Okay, so this is about the thing. Of course, just now during Elena, you're reading, it seems that the author tried to say no, you should be firm in the right view. Okay, well, I think the author tried to emphasize the right view, but practically we don't do this. Meaning to say that we'll try to open the gate to let people to resolve the issue in the first place. Okay, so we got it. Now we go to the further. Sally, the existence of the good and the evil. Yes, your turn.
The existence of good and evil. Whether one's mind is pure or defiled, whether one's deeds are beneficial or harmful to others, whether one's actions are good or evil, Buddhists should observe these questions carefully. The worldly right views spoken by the Buddha are found in specific sections of the sutra. They can be roughly divided into 4 categories. The first category concerns good and evil in our thoughts and actions. That is ethical and unethical. The right views of the Buddha Dharma starts with firmly seeing the presence of ethics first in the world then eventually beyond the world. People who strongly oppose ethics hold deviant views, as do, for example, the six Indian heterodox teachers, the skeptics, and the materialistic communists. What are good and evil with regard to mental factors? If it is pure, it is good. If it is defiled, it's evil. There are always some defiled factors in the mind that leads to irritation and affliction. If these defiled factors do not arise, and only pure factors do, this is good. Good factors are those that are without greed, without anger, without ignorance. They include the sense of shame that longs for what is good, the sense of integrity, resists evils, beliefs that lead to mental purity, and to the vigor to practice what is right. On the other hand, greed, anger, ignorance, shamelessness, lack of integrity, lack of faith, and indolence are all defiling and evil. As for these affecting others, those that benefit them are good, and those that harm them are evil. Because relationships exist among people and between people and other sentient beings, everyone should cooperate, help one another, and live harmoniously. If what one wants, if what one does is harmful to others, then even if it benefits oneself, it is evil and should not be done. If it benefits others but may harm oneself, it's good and should not be done. It's still good and should not be done. Whether
Okay, thank you so much. Ayu, she should be done. Ayu, steady. You just wake up.
it should be done.
A lot of mistake reading. You check the author today for many times. You make mistakes. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, never mind. We'll forgive you. Okay. Okay, class, let's go to the definition of the good and bad. Okay, okay, one thing I want to clarify. Again, question from Junjie. Junjie, thank you for your presence. You make me have some good idea. Okay, about the kasta in Indian Hinduism and our three great, and we got the three inferior, superior type of the people. Well, that will be different. Because in custom, the system of kasta is they try to. The intention to have a kasta system is try to control the population in the Indian. So for them, if you are the Brahmanism, you will be permanently become the Brahmanism. If you are the Sastra, you will be permanently become the Sastra. You see, but for Buddhism, we are different. We have a choice. You can choose the lower grade. You can choose the upper grade. It's totally up to you. This life, if you choose the lower, okay, so next time you become a human. So in next life, if you change your mind, you wish to become the upper grade, then you become the upper grade. So that's the difference. Okay, so in Buddhism, many things is decided by yourself, but you must have a right understanding in the first place and know how to choose. Okay, so now we go about what is the good and bad. What is the good and the evil, you see. So this is basically, if you ask thousands of people, they will have a different definition. But for Buddhism, quite clear. Number one, okay, if let's say your action, what you did, if it involves greedy, anger, and stupidity, that is the bad deed. We call it an evil deed. So meaning to say, yeah, say during the, during the COVID-19, you try to do some speculation, you sell the mask at a higher price, okay? And then maybe during, once you met the COVID patients, you show your disgust over them. So all these are because it involves some anger and also greedy. It is considered evil, all right? Oppositely, okay, so during COVID-19, okay, the blood bank need the blood donation, okay, you do, okay, because with the non-greedy, because due to the compassionate, and then you are quite willing to donate. Now Indian really need some fund for oxygen supply or what. So this is non-greedy, so this is considered good. Our definition is very clear. Number one, from the purity of the heart. Second, whether benefit other or not. If let's say you do something, you benefit other and benefit yourself, well, it's quite surely is a good. Second, if you benefit other but you harm yourself, okay, it's still considered good. The third one, you benefit yourself but you harm other, it's considered evil. So that is the definition. So from two aspects, we can combine together. So this is how we guide people to do the good and the evil. Why we have to do so? The reason is we notice that for especially for communists, which is emphasized on the materialistic, who deny next life, and also some Indian heterodox, they disbelieve next life, something terrible happened for them. Why? Because they just do whatever they like. Because no next life, because no resultant, because you no need to responsible for yourself or whatever you do. So that will be very terrible. They just do whatever they like. They just get whatever they want. The whole world will be in the chaotic. So that's why we say that by believing next life, okay, you do all the evil. Okay, this life may be no resultant, but coming in the next life. So this is why good and evil is important, but we have to build this perception above the reincarnation, so that people know that, oh, I should do the good, even though my resultant doesn't come this year, but it can come next year. Okay, if I keep on doing all the bad thing, I should be shameful. Why? Because this life, the resultant doesn't appear, but next life will be coming. See or not? So Junjie, that's why good and evil must become together with the present, past, and the future. And also whatever you see here, you experience here, you feel so unfair, unequal. You feel unequal. How come this life I'm being so good, but wherever I experience is so bad. So we explain it's about your past life. Because sometimes past life, if you have done a lot of evil, then if the result comes to this life, so you will experience this. But just you are not able to see your past life, so you don't understand. But this is a good explanation. And once you accept this inequality, the inequality no more become inequality, then you will feel calm. People used to, sometimes especially people get cancer, the toughest thing is to accept the fate. Once they accept the fate, they believe that, yes, this is my karma. Once they accept, they calm down, then the coming life will be easy already. If people need a reason, an explanation to explain the inequality. So basically, present, past, future, and the evil and the good, which you have done in the present, past, and the future, it will decide your present situation. So get it? Okay, so I have to mix it together. So in the coming passage, we'll talk about past life, present life, and the future life, and use some scientific proof to prove it. If possible, we're trying to find out the past life of the Jing Jue, then he will believe better. Yes, Mr. Leung, want to say something? Please.
Yes, Sifu.
Yes.
I do not understand this. If it benefits others but may harm oneself, it is still good and it should be done. But this sentence contradicts the Kalama Sutta, where it should benefit others as well as benefit yourself. Then only you accept it.
Of course, because I think this is based on the Greek treatise of Sastra. Okay, of course they will be different because there is a Mahayana Sutra. So Mahayana is very emphasized benefit other people. So Mr. Leung, this sentence I know is from the Greek treatise of the Greek treatise of the Sastra. So they always emphasize the living being rather than themselves. Of course, this harm is not until unbearable. Mr. Leung, you see, for example, you come to temple to some charity work. Okay, so you are helping. Okay, everybody. You try to help to cook, do some chores, so everybody can meditate. So at the same time, you have sacrificed your time, right? So we call it you already harm yourself. You lost something already. You have to spend some money here. You have to spend some time here. You see, it's considered you lost something already. You benefit other. So this is considered good. So Mr. Leung, actually depends how you put the example to and interpret it. It doesn't mean that you have to harm your whole body. Not really in that way. Okay, get it?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Okay, so next, let's try to have a look to the next.
Oh, can I say about you donate your organ, you also harm yourself, but you are doing good.
Oh, donate organ. I think you donate organ after you pass away, right? No more harming. You pass away, then you donate the organ.
No. You have like kidney you can donate when you live.
Oh, I know, but I don't think you harm yourself because medically, one kidney is sustainable.
Yeah, correct.
Of the liver, because the doctor wouldn't do something. The doctor wouldn't let us to harm ourselves to save other. Doctor wouldn't do so. Am I right?
So it should not be the example. Okay.
This is not the example. So we have to put other like I could just now. Okay, so next paragraph. Okay, what can you please read it out? Whether a good deed.
Whether a deed is good or evil depends internally on the intentions and externally on the effect. These are actions. Actions in the mind are mental deeds. Physical actions are bodily deeds. Verbal actions are spoken deeds. There are good and bad among all of these. All Buddhists, those disciples of the Buddha who have inherited the Buddha's work, should observe these categories carefully. One not only has to have firm faith in the existence of good and evil, one also has to differentiate between the two. People should cultivate firm, unshakable right views as the standard for both thoughts and actions. The existence of karma, actions and consequences. Karma can definitely lead to retributions or reward. Karma can change from small to large, can guide or complete the stages of fusion. It's both determined and undetermined, and can bring retributions or reward now, in the next life, or in the more distant future. No karma will be destroyed before retribution comes. The second right news is of the existence of karma and its results. Most people recognize that good and evil exist. In addition, it must be understood that as a consequence of good or evil actions, there are corresponding rewards or retributions. If a person does not have firm views about this, that person's belief in and understanding of the principles of good and evil will be shaken under certain circumstances. In the past, there was a loyal government official who was soon to be executed by order of the king. Before he died, this official told his son, I want to teach you to do evil, but evil should not be done. I want to teach you to do good, but I have really not done any evil. He himself had done only good, but had not received any good reward. So he became confused about the principle of good and evil. In addition to the right view of good and evil, one also needs the right view of karma, rewards, and retribution.
Okay, thank you so much. Class, can you check for me what's the reference for numbers 2? It's under what sutra? You can on the mic and speak it up if you check the reference, the footnote.
The biography of Fang Pan in the history of later Han Dynasty.
Okay, so it is not a Buddhism text lah. It's from. It is correct, class. What SJ said is correct. So why? Okay, class. Basically, for this, okay, we believe there's a good and bad. Okay, basically, good and bad, it will be manifested to our body action, our speech, and also our mind. But good and bad is not enough. There is the retribution and the reward to support it. Okay, so why? Because you see, just now I asked for the reference. You see, there's one guy. He say, okay, he do many good things, but he have been executed. So he called for a son. He said, you shouldn't do bad, but I never do good. But the king want to execute me. But I shouldn't. So meaning to say that from the conclusion, I should ask you not do the good because I always do the good one. Now I execute by the king, but I cannot ask you to do the bad, right? So there's a meaning to say that this is something is not very clear. I mean, it's not complete. Okay, as I said, if you believe there's a past life, present life and future life, it can explain many things, you see. Basically, for Buddhists, why people, they follow the ethic, especially for Buddhists, because they believe that everything there's a retribution. If you do through mouth, speech, and the mind, everything is in the good deed, there will be the good retribution for you. And the bad deeds and the evil, and vice versa. So that is why you have to believe that there's a retribution for it. So now they will further explain about the retribution. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, yeah, Mr. Leong, your turn to read. Reward and retribution. Mr. Leong, do you on your mic?
Rewards and retribution are definitely brought about by. Already on.
Yeah, yes. Please.
Mic already on. Rewards and retribution are definitely brought about by karmic forces. Whenever there is an action or karma, there is a result. Because karma is multifaceted and complicated, so too are rewards and retributions. Karma is what one does, one's action, mental, physical, or verbal. When some action is initiated by thinking, or focus of the present discussion is whether the propelling motive that causes our physical, verbal, and mental activities is good or evil. There is a value attached to actions depending on whether they are ethical or unethical. Deeds, doing good or doing evil, resemble the work of a laborer. The karmic force is like the salary earned from that work money. The money that one gets as a result of working, representing the value of the work, can be exchanged for usable commodities. Because of certain karmic forces, one obtains certain karmic results. Results are profoundly significant in that they mature differently. The cause differs from the effect. For example, one does good deeds and obtains the joys of the heavenly kingdoms. One does evil deeds and falls into the hells of suffering, to suffer. Understanding that suffering is a retribution and happiness as a reward depend on the karmic force of what one has done is an important aspect of the right view.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Please off the mic, Mr. Leong.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, class, basically, for whatever good and evil deeds you have done, there will be retribution. This is not created by Shakyamuni. Actually, this is the truth of the universe, because Shakyamuni himself suffered the retribution. Okay, according to the history of Buddhism, the last life of the Shakyamuni, Shakyamuni Buddha, okay, he suffered back pain. Okay, then from the commentary stated, many lives ago, actually he had stabbing somebody, so he suffered the back pain. Okay, and he also feel hated, even though he is a Shakyamuni Buddha, because for past many life, he tried to use the wood to hit the head of the fish, so he also got pain in the head. So in the last life, so meaning to say that even the Buddha himself, he cannot escape from the retribution. So that's why what we study now is the discovery of the universe, the law of the universe. So we guide our, we are using it to guide as a guideline for us. How to prove that? Okay, if you do the good deed, you go to the hell, and if you do the bad deed, no, the good deed go to the heaven, bad deed go to the hell. How to prove it? Okay, class, basically there's a few ways. Number one, with the divine eye. You have to practice the psychic, because once you have the psychic with the strong meditation, you're able to see the retribution of the people. Okay, number one. Second is the wisdom. For some saint or sage, they have a special power to able to see the retribution and the karma effect of the people. Okay, and then maybe you can also can confirm. You go to ask some medium. Maybe Junjie, you are so curious. You can try to ask. Okay, so if you believe, okay, then some they will tell you partial of the two, not all. Because some they're psychic not very strong, but they can roughly see something. So there's a few things. There's one more thing is you trust the authenticity of the sutra and the text from the Buddhism. So, but basically people begin from the authenticity of the text. So they need time, and basically, especially people in the middle age, they already see many things already. They see a lot of truth and fact, a lot of inequality. They notice that how come, especially in the gathering of the alumni, you see, we all work hard, same together, same education level. Maybe they are brothers or what, but just don't know somehow, some people, no matter how much effort they put, they just can't do well in the business. For some people, they work hard, but of course they work hard, but somehow you will notice that some people, they can't do well because they lack of something. So there's something, it might be the retribution. Some people, they practice very healthy lifestyle, good diet, everything is good, but still affect cancer. So doctors say, oh, this is because of the genetic. So what happened if the children, maybe just 5 years old, got cancer? So the doctor said it's genetic, or this is, we can't explain. So since the children, they don't have the time to do all the bad things, so the only reason is the karma retribution. And it is from the past life, and it ripened in this life, mature in this life. And so many people, why some people can strike the lottery without any effort, get a big sum of money? Not you and I. So we believe also there will be some karma involved. So not many people, but just very certain people, they can get this type of the retribution from their past good deed. Okay, so that's the class for today. Okay, so we end here. Okay, yes. Anyone wish to do? Okay, anyone have time to do maybe just 10 or 15 minutes recapitulation? Can you please put up your hand? Anyone? Junjie, yes, Junjie. Anybody want to talk to Junjie? Elena, you talk. Elena? No, Sally? Okay? Sally? Okay? Okay, Sally, okay. So Sally, please call Junjie so the rest you can have your own time. But basically, please next time try to join the recapitulation. Even though you read out the text, once you read it out, the thing go into your brain. I believe once you step out from the doorstep, then maybe just 10% retain in your brain. So tomorrow morning, just only 3%. Maybe you just remember the joke only. You believe or not? So that's why without examination, actually, most of the teachers quite scary. The course without examination because we don't know the ending. End up terribly. Okay. So we transfer the merit. Okay.